Hello everyone, today we're going to be going through Lauren's B&B combo. It is the only combo that you need to learn in order to play her, and honestly, even when it comes to the competitive side, she has more high damaging combos, but they're very risky. They have lots of variations needed for different characters, different spaces on the screen, so I myself subscribe to this combo, and you will expect to see this from me in tournaments as well. So let's get started. So firstly, this is the combo. Anything into 5HH standing into this jumping series. Then we're in the corner. And it's just going to be 3 cancels of the same thing. And then we finish with a 5L jab reset. So let's break down these into different parts. Firstly, it's the standing portion. So for the standing portion, it's going to be anything that links into 5HH, right? And that means either we're going to have 2L 5HH or 5M, 5HH, and from there, we're going to run up, so we're face-to-face with them, we're going to go 5M, 2M. If you're not face-to-face with them, and you're a little too far away, that 2M's going to whip. So you really want to make sure you're running into them. There's a lot more time than what you think in order to get there. You see, I left it a little bit later than normal. And that leads on to the next part, which is the air series, as I call it, the air juggle series. So we've got 2M, and we're going to go light, medium, and then special to do the double jump, and then light, medium, H. So just like this. Now my recommendation when doing this is to do it fairly quickly. Don't go crazy because you'll probably miss an input. But yeah, like that, a little too fast there. But you see, it's fairly quick, but I'm not going nuts. You can also leave a delay there if you need to readjust the height between you and your opponent, especially if there's like an anti-air starter where you go straight from an anti-air into this. But the important thing is just try and keep close enough so that JH hits. You'll learn it as you practice the character as to what spacings you need for it. Now from there, you land and then you need to run into them and 5M, 2M again. When doing this one, I recommend just holding onto forward and just pressing dash 5M. And you see she kind of takes a step or two. And my inputs are fairly quick for this. Again, nothing crazy. So here. And it's just so that you can get close enough that once again the 2M hits. Because if you don't get that dash 5M, the 2M is going to whiff. And then from the second one, you don't have to go crazy. You can take your time. JLM. And you can again readjust the height because when you get into the corner, you want a falling JM. So it keeps them up in the air while you hit the floor. And that makes the following 5M really easy to hit. Just like this. There's plenty of time for you to connect that 5M. Whereas sometimes, yeah, just like that. If you're too quick on this coming up, you can find that you'll miss the 5M. Sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of the times it does. So I recommend just delay that second JM, and you'll find that you'll always get that 5M when you land. And this leaves us with the corner part, the Shiba cancels, which a lot of people say is the difficult part of the combo. But I understand why, but it's very easy, and let me show you. So it's the 2H. And it has 2 hits, right? Now, if you press the Shiba too early, the cancel too early, you don't get that second hit. If you press it too late, you can't link with 2L. However, if you press the first one as the second hit of 2H hit, so 1, 2, there we go. And I'll just press it once so you can see. You see, I'm pressing it as soon as that hit explodes. And the second hit, you don't have to go crazy. You don't have to like mash on the special button in order to get the cancel, because you can see you can only cancel at a certain speed. So this is me tapping it quite slowly. If you have a look. It's not fast at all, really. So 2H, SS, 2, and then you're going back into 2H. It's not fast at all. That double tap doesn't have to be very fast. You can get it if you press it faster. But you don't have to. Just like this. And you just keep going until you've done your 3 2Ls, and then at the end of it, you got the 5L. And from there, we're going to work into the resets. The resets are by far the most fun part of this combo because, first of all, actually, let me just say, if you have meter at the end of it, on the last 2H, EX into super. If you only have 2 meters and it can kill, you do 2H into 5S and then super. That's how you spend your meter, right? That's how you spend a meter. And then after this, you can do a quick dash success. Very quick, but it adds a little extra damage. That's how you spend your meter. On to the resets now. So Lauren's resets are by far some of the most fun parts about this character. I love being able to do resets with Lauren because the options are just so vast for her. I'm going to give you some ideas, but have a play around and think of some for yourself as well. The first one, obviously, is 2L, same side. You have throw, same side. You also have run to the other side, 2L. And with that throw, try to use back throw, because it's easier to pick up. They're your obvious ones. Every character has these, because it's just a low and throw on either side. However, things get more interesting when we start using a plinked dash jump, right? So how do we do this? We press jab, press M, and cancel the M into a dash. So you see my inputs are Y, X, and Y on the left-hand side here. And that just means that I'm pressing M, which is my Y, and then X and Y, which is my light. But I'm not lifting the button. I'm just pressing holding. Like that. So we go jab and then that motion. But when we do this, we actually hold on to up forward, which is 9 if you're using numpad notation, which you should. And when you do it, you get this. An immediate dash jump, which is so good, and it opens up so many options. So what options are there? jLMH is one. You've got high-low with JL. You can also do that with JM into 2L. You have a nice one which is really good against Zord, which is JL into throw. And if your opponent is trying to do a Zord counter, that throw will catch them when they Zord counter. So it's really good once your opponent gets used to you doing overheads on resets. They will try to block the overhead and then do a Zord counter. And what you can do is just go into throw. It's a great way of baiting out Zord counter and winning off of it. You also have JH on its own. So something that's interesting about JH on its own is it hits cross up. Yeah. It just hits cross up. I don't know why, but it does. It also has a chance to hit same side. So it's not like entirely 100%. I think it's like 80-20%. I've never really worked out the timing exactly for it, but that is basically an 80%, 20% cross up. And the nice thing about this is you can leave it really late, and you can throw out a JM instead, so you can actually do a 50-50 on left right, and yeah, that's super good. So yeah, do those. They're all really good. That's pretty much all the resets that I use on a day-to-day basis. Obviously got my video on unblockables where I use Lauren as the example. So definitely look at that video. I'll have a link in the description as well. So one of the things that can happen is that you don't get your lovely 5H gate starter, right? And then you get your 5M, 2M, and you're a third of the way into the screen already. Well, let's say you start with Antnier in the corner. This combo is kind of ignorant to that. You see? And even though you've got tons of juggle limit left, just do the reset. You've done 467 damage at this point. And on any reset, the next combo, you're going to have 2 meter. So here, you're going to have 2 meter. And we're just going to do super. So there's what, 450 damage plus whatever amount of damage this is going to do. Any character's dead at this point, so you just need that one reset. And that's really good. I wouldn't worry about trying to get to the end of your juggle limit with Lauren. Just get to the corner, spend your 2Ls that you get in your juggle limit, do a reset, get the kill after that combo. Now lastly, what happens if you have a very awkward situation where you need to start carrying the corner? Let's say you haven't got to the corner like this, you're too far away. There is one last thing that you can do, and it is a 5M link from the stance cancels. So you know before we're doing 2L here, 2H, 2L, right? However, Lauren can actually link the combo with 5M. So let me show you. Just like that. Just with 5M instead. Nothing spectacular. It is a little bit tighter, but I promise you, with a little bit of practice, you can do this. And it is really useful because when you're corner carrying, sometimes you have no choice but to do this and carry them to the corner with 5mm 2H. Learn how to do it because it's incredibly useful for those situations where you need to corner carry and you can't get close enough to 2H. And it does happen, unfortunately. So you have to learn to do these loops. And if you can do those loops, then the 2L ones are absolutely free. So just, if you learn those, you'll learn the 2Ls at the same time, and you also get yourself out of a situation where you can't get close enough for them to 2H, and you can only corner carry with 5mm 2H, like this. So as I say, this is the combo that I use with Lauren all the time. I have been playing around with using her wall bounce combos, which do higher damage and kill some characters, but not others. But honestly, it's just such a headache because you have to work out when to wall bounce. Do I link after the wall bounce with 5M and 2L based on spacing? And do I have to use 5S or 5HH? And it's such a nightmare. And half the characters it doesn't even work on. Half of them juggle differently. And I just don't recommend it. Honestly, I don't recommend it. So stick with this combo. It'll keep your head clear for more important things in the match, such as neutral and the resets. And remember, look at the unblockable guide that will be in the description as well. I promise you it's not that hard, so learn it and you'll be very happy. But until then, learn to do our resets because they are also incredibly easy. If you have any questions, ask in the comment section. I will try and pick them up and I will reply to you. And if you are a Lauren player, tell me, is this a combo you use? What kind of combos do you use? And do you have any cool resets? I'd love to know. So thank you very much and have a good day.